Okay, I believe now I am audible again. Like I said that it's showing the data that is there, and some of you have asked that request timed out bolche. Okay, so 2 or 3 questions I have received. Let's answer those. I believe my stream is working now perfectly. The network related issues I was talking and network got disconnected in my computer. What an irony. But the fact is, if some of you are viewing that when you are pinging google.com and you are getting a different IP address in this reply, that is perfectly fine. Why? Because every time when you try to ping to google.com, when you are trying to ping a address, that address is of different many a google.com server held in many different locations, whether in Kolkata or in Bombay or in Chennai or in Delhi. Everywhere there are Google data centers, there are Google local servers, and when you are typing google.com, the internet routing protocol connects you to any one of the servers. It tries to find out path which is having shortest distance or which is having least amount of congestion in that area or in that path. So either way, when I am connecting to a google.com, it's connecting to that particular location whose IP address is this one. It may happen that when you have pinged google.com, it's connecting to a separate server which is located in a distant city or in a separate city. It may happen that my Google server that I have connected here, it's using a Vodafone internet, that's why it's connecting to a separate Google server, and you are using Zionet, that's why you are using. Okay. So okay, I can see that some of you have joined back. Sorry for this delay because the network connection is having some disruptions. So what I was saying is that if you are viewing different IP address for pinging google.com, that's absolutely fine. When I am typing google.com, the routing protocol is trying to connect it to a specific any one of the anonymous Google servers that are there. So it found nearest to me is 142.250. So that is the server they have fetched data from, whereas I am using a Vodafone landline connection, a Vodafone centralized connection to my connection computer through the college. That is why they may be connecting to a separate Google server, or if you are using Jio or any other broadband service or any Vodafone or Airtel related service, that can ping to separate computer and can get data. But the fact is that when you are writing the address google.com, it is not specifying to a specific IP address. It is trying to find out all the individual location where the google.com server is situated, and you know Google uses distributed server. Remember, it is not using the single server that has been there. Another one is that if you are showing that the server disconnected or unable to send data, that means your computer's network connection is not working properly. Another use of ping command is to check whether your computer's network IC or the network chip, the chip which is connected to your LAN port in your computer, is working properly or not. Your internal computer's LAN chip has a specific IP address that is applicable for all computers. Your internal computer's IP address, your internal computer's testing IP address is 127.0.0.1. So, if I ping that, I will always get a reply showing that my internet connectivity is perfectly working. We always, this command is very much essential, this command is very much useful when we try to check whether my network Ethernet card is properly working or not. If my network Ethernet card is properly working or not, I have a LAN connector, I have a LAN port, that means there is a network Ethernet card associated with my motherboard. If I want to check that, I will always give a ping to that particular, irrespective of which computer you are using. You just ping to 127.0.0.1, that is a specific IP address universally defined for all motherboards. If they are having any network card associated with it, then you will always get a data. See, because remember when we were pinging google.com, we got a time of 33 millisecond to get a full circular sending and acknowledgement receiving of the data. It was huge, whereas as because you are using same computer for transmission and receiving of the data, see this reply came with a 32 byte, but the time taken is less than 1 millisecond. That means it is instantaneously working, and obviously because your in-house the value you are using, it is now more, it has taken 33 milliseconds of time. So, that is why 117 milliseconds of time it has left, but whether here we are very less time we have taken, that is why that time to live is much more higher. That means its time stamp is much more higher because we have taken very minimum amount of time. So, the fact is this ping command is essential for checking your router's Ethernet card, and this one is for generalized any network you want to ping or check the IP address of that, you can get any website's IP address using this one. So, for example, if I want to ping say what I can say, let us say CNN.com, I will get a ping from it, and not only get a ping from it, the server I will be connecting to any one of the CNN servers. So, here the IP address is different for CNN's server that I have reached to, that is the 151.101.1.67. Now, the funny thing is that this also works like a basic hacking tutorial for everyone who is enthusiastic. Why is that so? Because many times if someone is trying to hack you or someone is trying to hack any website, we do not have the IP address. Remember, everything has two different sides, one is the front end side, one is the back end side. So, CNN.com or www.cnn.com is the front end side of your network, where you can only view the address, but not technically. CNN.com is an address which is very much understandable by us, not from the difficulty point of view, but from easy point of view, whereas the IP address is a difficult to understand or difficult to remember, but technically that is far more superior. So, if someone is trying to hack a specific website, then he or she need to find out the IP address first, because technically if you are not technically trying to hack someone, it is not possible for to hack that particular website. So, the main idea becomes is to find out the IP address, then find out the loopholes associated with that IP address, and then use those loopholes to send some vulnerable data, so that the machine can be or the system can be accessed. Okay. So, we just learned the basic ping commands. So, our time is almost over, I believe. So, what we will be doing in the next day, probably we will be completing the full tutorial, completing the full PPT that I have prepared, and it is being prepared by me throughout the time period that I have taken. So, in the next day we will be completing that, we will be learning 12 or 13 different basic commands as well as more advanced commands to identify and understand how the way the DOS based network or the computer network works. Okay. It is a very good thing. Once you know, you can understand the way the actual computer in your computer devices work, and when you are trying to understand how the computer network working physically actually, then you can use permutation and combination of these commands to get a clear idea of the network that you belong to, or try to find out the host where you are connected, where you are getting the data, and how much number of nodes that our computer need to travel, our data from the computer need to travel before reaching the server. Everything can be understood by means of this modes of operations. Okay. So, thank you for joining. We will be seeing you in the next class. Have a good day.